the 16th Sunday of Ordinary Time. Again, we are dealing with parables. Last Sunday, we had the parable of the good seed falling on the trodden path, on rocky soil, on thorns, but on good soil. And Jesus explained that. This Sunday and next Sunday, we will again do parables. Parables are a way of Jesus, and it's a literary form that Matthew used to have Jesus saying things about this mysterious thing called the kingdom of heaven. What is it like that we can get a hold of in our limited minds? And so this Sunday we have the man sowing good seed, and it grows, but then the servants come and say, wait a minute, there are weeds growing up. Didn't you sow good seed? He said, an enemy has done this. And he said, let's let the two things grow together, the weeds and the wheat, and then when they come to maturity, you collect the weeds, burn them, and then collect the wheat and put them in the barn. And then the long form, if you're using the long form in chapter 13, Jesus explains to the simplicity of the apostles, what is all that? And he says, well, he explains it. The good seed is the Son of Man, and the field is the earth, and the bad weed planter is the devil. I have a quote from a great book, if you haven't read it, a play by Robert Bolt called A Man for All Seasons. It's the conflict between Henry VIII wanting to have his first marriage annulled by the Pope, and so he can marry another woman. And the Pope says no, and Thomas More, who is a lawyer and a great official in Henry's court, says no. And it's a question: is Thomas a great lawyer? Is he stubborn? Is he faithful? It's a conflict for him. So at the end of the play, speaking to his wife Alice and to his beloved wife, beloved daughter, who says, "Just sign the silly thing. It won't mean anything anyway." And he said, Thomas is in great conflict. But at the end of the play, near the end, Thomas says to them, God made the angels to show him splendor, as God made animals for innocence and plants for their simplicity. But man, God made to serve him wittily in the tangle of their minds. And he's saying, my mind is tangled. And all human beings have a tangled mind. It's a bit conflict. And when we were in Catholic grade school, we were taught, Slewfoot or Satan or the devil or Diablo, whatever, is on one shoulder and the angels are on it. My guardian angel is over here. And I'm in a conflict. And there is this conflict. The other day I was holding a very tiny baby, 4 weeks old, so small. And I was touching its face. And I was saying, you are so good right now. You are so innocent. You have the splendor of angels and the simplicity of plants. But I'm also afraid you have a mind, and you necessarily are going to be in conflict. Very early you'll be in conflict with having to cry, I want milk, I want toys, I want. And as they grow up, they're going to be in conflict with parents and friends. It's the good weeds and the bad weeds. And that little child, innocence and simplicity, is going to be a human being, is a human being. Is going to grow into be more and more available to the tangle of his mind. That maybe the parable is the earth, the humus, the human has to have these conflicts in order to choose to live with the conflicts, with the tangle, with the, should I sign the act or not? Should I do what's right or not? I will praise you, God, by trusting that I am doing the right thing. Will I always know I'm doing the right thing? No. But that's where I trust you. That in as clear a conscience as I can have. Was Thomas's conscience clean? He thought so. But was he absolutely sure that he wasn't doing this? And the king was trying to convince him. The king's court was trying to convince him. His wife and family were trying to convince him. And he tried to make a clear and pure decision that cost him his life. So can spirituality, can we live peacefully with the conflicts? Should I do this or that? Can I live in the earthliness of myself, with grace working with nature? But nature is fallen. Nature is selfish and wanting more and more, please, and now, please, and always for me, please. If I can become aware of what does that voice sound like in me? What does Sloofit sound like? And it'll always be, I think, for destruction of the good. The weeds are going to try to choke the wheat. And the wheat is fruitfulness and growth. And the weeds are saying, no, there must be no growth. That maybe the way we discern is what voices are not just creating of me, that can be very egocentric, but what's creating of the other? How is my decision creative of spouse and family and friends and world? The evil spirit is never going to want the wheat to grow, the wheat to nourish, because if the wheat grows and is stored and fed and made bread and things, that's nourishing, life-sustaining. And maybe it's this: what decisions are not just about me, but what is for the futuring, the fruitfulness of others? And was that what Thomas More was thinking? If I cave in, others will give in to the weeds of Henry VIII's ego, narcissism. He was a very self-centered man, power. And so when I think of, should I do this or that, in big decisions and small ones, as best I can, using my mind, even with its tangles, I serve God, struggling with, is this not just serving God, but is it serving God's creation of community, of others? the wheat and the weeds. We live in the field in which weeds and wheat are growing, and we are growing spiritually if we are not afraid of entering to the conflict between fruitfulness and destruction.